Alright, hello everybody. This is Red X Rain here with what is assuredly going to be the final episode of Let's Play the Goonies 2 for the NES. I've been away for quite some time now, about a year and a half, and really happy to be back. Real quick, I had to replay this game because I lost my old file, so I don't know that anyone would really notice, but I'm actually up to 3 lives in this sort of redone playthrough here. I think when I left off, I had 1 life because I got the extra life from that secret door in that kind of caged off area that I was just in. But I did really, really well on my newest playthrough here, getting back to, like I said, sort of the area where I was before I left for some time to deal with some personal stuff and all that. But I'm gonna try and pretend like, because I think my energy is at like roughly the same level it was in the last video. But I'm gonna kind of pretend that I only have 1 life. I'm not gonna. So hopefully I don't die through this, and so it'll seem sort of a little bit more authentic, a little bit more genuine. So here we are, kind of just making our way through. And going into a new diving area here, so we'll just go through to the diving suits, and yeah, so we're gonna go to this area over here, and I'm really low on energy, so I don't want to take any risk. Like I said, I got the extra lives, but I definitely want to get this shark. I was hoping he was gonna drop some health, but yeah, like I said, I would really kind of just like to pretend like I only have 1 life left, and ooh, that was really close. Oh god, this area is so annoying right here. Yeah, see, it's really finicky. Jesus, it's really finicky about this pipe, because once you pedal up too much, there we go. Once you pedal up too much, you like bump your head on the rock formation there, and you just end up going back down the tube. So it sometimes takes a little while. But here we have another Goonie. What does he say? Thank you, Mikey. You are great. I am great. Thank you for noticing. So that's all we had to do here, and I went the wrong way. And put our diving suit back on. And if we check real quick, let me just hold on. Let me get past this guy and down the pipe here. Let's see. So of course, you know, every time we rescue a Goonie, we get more energy, and so now we're at the point where we got a lot of energy, and you know, I don't know if this is actually true, but I feel like, you know, of course you get new health, or like another bar of health whenever you save a Goonie, but I also feel like Mikey becomes a little bit stronger, like a little bit more resilient. I don't know if that's actually true, but it also just seems like enemies deal less damage than you know, any sort of previous time, but I'm not too sure about that. It could also just be a mixture of, you know, you do so many warp zones and everything that you know, the enemies are stronger and weaker, you know, comparatively in different areas. So I don't know if it's just a matter of that. You know, you rescue a Goonie and you gain a little bit of health, and then you know, you end up going to an area with weaker enemies anyway, and so it looks like you take less damage. I'm not too sure about that. But so we're, if you can't tell here, I'm just kind of doing backtracking. Backtracking is really, I think I said this in the a previous episode. I actually had to like sort of rewatch my old episodes for 2 reasons. One, to get myself back to the point where I was when I made my last video, but also just to kind of remind myself of what I had talked about, just to make sure I don't repeat information and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I had said in a previous video that there's a lot of backtracking in this game, and that's definitely very true. I mean, I guess it depends on kind of the order of things, and you know, I want to kind of get more of these Molotov cocktails. I used a lot up in my, oops, I went the wrong way. Used a lot up in my playthrough, and to be honest, there's not a lot of enemies actually. We can avoid a lot of enemies, or at least I'll be sort of powering through them in this sort of these last minutes of the game here. But I would like to have the Molotov cocktails just in case. And again, I don't know if this is a matter of an actual game mechanic, but I feel like whatever you have in your sort of secondary slot, oh, here's just an extra character that just pretty much tells you, you're already at the end of the game, so if you don't know that you have to rescue Goonies, I don't know how you got this far. Oh, wrong way. But yeah, I'm not sure, when you have, like, because you can switch between the Molotov cocktails and, like, the regular bombs, and the regular bombs I really don't like. But I feel like whichever one you have, like, activated in that little box up above as your secondary weapon, I feel like that's the one that enemies drop. So if I have just the regular bombs, I don't think Molotov cocktails show up, and you know, vice versa. But gosh, I feel like no one's dropping them. But you know, I'm just gonna leave because I'm not gonna use the bombs anyway. So if I pick them up, cool. If not, whatever. But if you couldn't tell, we're in a new area here. This is like the lava volcano area, I guess. And we're not really here all that often. I want to get rid of that bat, or the keese, or Keesey. Still never quite sure. Different Zelda fans have different ways of saying it, but I usually say keese. And those dinosaurs are really tough. And as you can see, I took a lot of damage. Like I said, I think this part of the game, you got so much health. Oh, I thought it was maybe it's the ceiling? I thought it was the floor. There's a lot of hitting of the ceilings and floors also, and yeah, there we go. These last areas of the game too. But again, we're just getting another Goonie here. What does he say? Thank you, Mikey. Felt my life almost ended. I guess that's grammatically correct. I'm an English teacher now, so I'm on the lookout for that kind of stuff. This game has terrible syntax and everything. But real quick, as you can see, it looks like we're missing a Goonie. And again, I guess it's a matter of how you play through the game, and you know, certainly there are tools like the ladder that you need to, you know, actively progress through. So you can't just go completely out of order. But I guess the developers intended you to get this other Goonie earlier, but I feel like you didn't have the ladder yet, or something. So if you know, I'm very big, and I mentioned this on other playthroughs or other LPs, that I'm very big on usually doing things sort of sequentially. And here we have it seems like a dead-end area. Like, why did I go this way? She just tells you to look for a transceiver, which I guess the magic locator device or something. But the real reason to come in here is so that you can take a shortcut by, yeah, breaking the floor here and using the ladder. And we're gonna go back to almost the beginning of the game here. Now, you can certainly, you know, take the long way. You can go past the bridge and everything. But here we are back in this kind of pinkish, well, I guess more of a coral attic area, which is very, very early in the game. I think it goes back to probably video 1, if not video 2 at the latest. And we're here in this green dungeony area, and oops. And if we go the right way, we're back here, which is again very, very near the beginning of the game, which is like I was saying, there's a lot of backtracking to do right here at the end. So it's kind of like you work your way as far into the game as you can, and then you kind of have to work your way back. Which again, I guess suggests how or why it looks like we're missing the fourth Goonie, and why are we going back. But like I was saying, I don't think we had the ladder at that point, or something. Either way, I feel like this is just the most efficient way to go about it, because, like I said, you gotta come back to the very beginning of the game. I mean, almost literally the very beginning of the game to finish the game. So a lot of this, you know, I'm not commenting on it too much, because it's areas that we've seen before, especially this red cave area. You know, gosh, I mean, it's really kind of sort of, oops, it's really sort of the center hub of the whole game, I feel like. In this area, I mean, we've been before too. This very short Arctic. Oh, come on, look like you're taking a dump, Mikey. You've held it for if you had to go, man. We've you can wait like 10 more minutes for me to finish the game. But I get to see my favorite character there, the little moonwalking polar bear, and actually I get to see I guess my real favorite character is Eskimo the Eskimo, and he tells you there's nothing here. So I had to stop by and see him. And just for the sake of completion, I have the boomerang again, which, if you don't remember, You lose that when you're on that really annoying bridge area, and those are like those metal chomping heads that don't damage you. All they ever do is take the boomerang. But I got it back now. Not that I ever use it, but again, I'm a completionist. So I'm not sure if this is video 2 or 3, but again, this is all an area we've been to before. Last time we went to the right, and there's like hidden door and that sort of stuff, usual Goonies 2 nonsense. But here, if we hit the ceiling here and use the ladder, we can go up and get the missing Goonie, which I think, you know, according to the game is number 4. You're 2 minutes late. Okay, as if... So apparently everyone had their, like, watches synchronized and knew when Mikey was gonna get them. I don't know, 2 minutes late for what? I'm not too sure. But then I feel like, you know, I feel like this is the room where I got the ladder. Originally. I don't know. This game is so non-linear. Oops. So yeah, just real quick, just as you see, there's all 6 Goonies, and so now all we have to do is save Annie, the mermaid. But yeah, this game is so non-linear. I don't know. Maybe I just totally forgot last time. I don't know. Whatever the case, we got all 6 Goonies now, and so yeah. I mean, I guess if I had the, you know what? It's not even worth. It's not even worth debating. Let's just say. So maybe it's not the most efficient route. We could have just gone back to. We could have just avoided coming back to this area in the Red Cave area, but you know what? It is what it is, and try and time this right. And so yeah, we have full health, which is going to be again pretty useful because I always go the wrong way in these rooms. Which yeah, is going to be very useful because I mean honestly, I'm just powering through this. I guess you know what? I'm not. Yeah, okay. I'm not worried about health. You know, like I had mentioned a little bit before, I'm not sure if it's true if you actually can take more hit damage with more health bars, or if it's just a matter of, again, we're at the very beginning of the game, so the enemies are less powerful and they hurt you less. I don't know, but really we're you know in pretty safe territory. The enemies aren't very difficult over here. They don't deal a lot of damage. Like that. See, like, the spider touched me, and gosh, I hardly lost any health. It's like a quarter, if anything. But so we're climbing back up to... This is like the very first screen of the game. I can go to the left and actually show you where we started, but this room might look kind of familiar. Not this room. There we go. And so I said in the very first video to remember that ceiling and the hole in the ceiling is there. And now that we have the ladder, we can actually go up it. And so like I said, we're almost literally at the very start screen of the game, and that's where we have to go to finish it. And so we get this other, I think this is a new area. I don't think we've ever seen anything decorated like this like green attic area. And the enemies in this room, or these 2 rooms, are pretty tough. You saw maybe just briefly there, you might have seen the like the armored like skeleton guy who's pretty tough. There's those. That guy, that's what I'm talking about. But we can pretty much just breeze through them. And, yeah, we're going through a lot of warp zones here. Case in point, we're back in another one of those coral-colored attic areas, and I'm really just trying to run through here because, I mean, we got so much health. Unless something really ridiculous was to happen, I really don't see any point in health grinding or anything because we're just making our way through. Oops. I think, is it the front? Yeah. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Yep. It's so non-intuitive here. I can never remember. Let's see. Unless I was just... Oh yeah, okay. So we're in this... it looks like the start screen of the game, but I don't think you can get here any other way to this particular green attic area. And so you can see the enemies are just like... Ooh, it's actually slowing down the system with all these 2 Fratelli brothers and snakes and everything. So maybe that's a little bit of an indicator that you're coming to a close for the game. But again, they're, you know, the enemies... They're pretty much all the same enemies throughout, but you may have noticed they just sort of like change color depending on the area, and these kind of like blue tinted ones are, I guess, the weakest. So, you know, I'm killing them if they're in my way, but otherwise we can just just keep to the top here, and apparently that spider has it out. No, see, well, I got bombed. Well, it doesn't even matter. What does it matter? Because here we are, I think going through another warp zone. Is it the ceiling here? Maybe it's the... Shoot. I don't think we have to use our fists. I don't think... No? I think we do use the fist on... No? Unless it's just the front wall. Oh, it is the front wall. Okay. And so we get this really... It almost seems pointless. This little room here. Again, very weak enemies, so it's not like anything's really getting in your way. Can't get lost. Oh, here's the warp zone. Okay. And so we put on our diving suit for the very last time. And again, no real point for the screen other than, I guess, makes sense that we're in the underwater area, because here we are at the final big door. We got our final key, and here we go. Yep, there is Annie, the mermaid, which has almost... Oh, let's see what she has to say. She's gonna go back to the sea. I love you, Mikey. It's a little awkward that she doesn't know how to... She refers to Mikey as Mikey constantly. No use of you. I know my name. Hurrah for Konami and the Goonies, so a little bit of breaking the fourth wall, I guess. And as this reporter tells us, Anna is rescued. The Fratellis, they're arrested, and so again, there is peace, as I think he says here. Yes, peace has arrived again. In the town of Goondocks. So yeah, that's it. Oh, the end. I guess he's also kind of breaking the fourth wall. And sort of a classic Nintendo style. It's not very celebratory. I mean, I think you get the same game over screen even if you die, but man, that's it. It only took me a year and a half. So I would like to thank Jay the Classic Gamer, who I'm not even sure if he's still making videos or if he would even still be watching. First and foremost, thank Jay the Classic Gamer for recommending this game for my my special, my weekly special, the weekend matinee. See, I've already forgotten stuff about my own channel. And so certainly another weekend matinee game will be on its way once I get everything together. I'm trying to finish up the Wario Land Let's Play. I'm also trying to... I'm thinking about going back and finishing up the... It'll be kind of a semi-blind version of Echo for the Genesis, because, as I mentioned in this video, the video that you're watching right now, you know, I had long story short, I sort of lost my computer and had to kind of start fresh. So I was already several episodes into recording Echo. So I guess those first few levels, again, won't exactly be blind, although, again, it's been a year and a half since I played it, so I'm certainly not likely to remember everything. But I could save all this stuff, I suppose, for maybe like an updated audio log or something like that. Let's not have this run too over time. I like to stay under 20 minutes. I'm already at like almost 19. So again, let's just stick to pertinent details here. So you know, big thanks to Jay the Classic Gamer for suggesting this game. Always a big shout out to my friends over at Let's Play Sanctuary. It's the best Let's Play forum there is. They've, you know, welcomed me back, even though I sort of went on this unannounced year and a half hiatus. So anyone who's watching from there, you know, thanks for welcoming me back. And all my subscribers, if I haven't lost any of you, you know, again, I'm sort of working my way back into the LP community here. So I'm not quite sure who's still around, who's not quite around. But I do hope to be, you know, if I'm going to go on another hiatus, which I don't foresee, I will actually let people know rather than just dropping off the face of the earth like I did last time. But again, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for possibly more announcements about you know, another one that I'll choose, I think, because I want to build up my fan base a little bit and subscribers and that sort of thing before I do another one of those subscriber challenges to pick the next weekend matinee feature. So I'm gonna pick one. Not quite sure. I got a couple of ideas, but that'll all be, I suppose, like I said, in audio logs or something like that in the future. So I hope you stick around for it. I hope I haven't completely lost your faith in my channel, and I hope you'll come back and watch whatever I have coming next.